How you doing, guys? Welcome back to LSPTV. This is episode 4, and we're going to be discussing, are we asking the right questions? The reason I wanted to do this episode is because over, the course of me engaging with people online, talking to people in my Discord mainly, I get a lot of questions. I talk to so many people in the community. I get plenty of DMs, obviously, as you can imagine. And there's a good portion of the questions that come across, in my DMs. Examples being, what do you think of this project? You mentioned in your video about this particular price. What do you think? Is it still, is it still in play? I'm thinking about picking up so and so, project at, right now. Do you think it's a good idea? So I wanted to really address this asking questions, and are they the right questions? Because the focus should always be, for me, when I'm addressing questions, obviously I'm very careful about how I answer questions, because my sole intention is to teach people how to do this themselves, right? To be able to look at the projects, or to look at their investments, to look at how they look, how they view the markets, how they engage with the markets, to be able to have the confidence to do this themselves. This is what really this is all about. This is what this has always ever been about. To be able to instill my experience in others so they can go out and effectively engage in a safe, confident way, so they have an opportunity to be able to learn from not only my experience, but the experience of those, who also are out there doing the same thing, because I'm not by myself. Somebody said something recently, and I just want to kind of address this as well. I'm not alone, guys. There's quite a few of us. We're out there. We're really sort of hammering this education. We're talking about the markets. We're putting really good content out there. At least I believe I am. So again, I'm not alone in the community. I keep saying this about my Discord. I can't speak for anybody else's Discord, but I know I can speak for mine. The people in my Discord, the link is in the description below, are phenomenal. Somebody who's new, for example, comes in, they ask a question, and everybody jumps on it straight away, and they help. They immediately, straight away, it's such a helpful Discord. The community is absolutely amazing. I cannot speak highly enough of the community in my Discord. It's unbelievable. A massive shout out goes to the entire community in my Discord, because they're amazing. But going back to the topic of what we want to discuss today, we need to be able to ask the right questions, because the communication that I go through on a daily basis with people that ask me questions is generally, like I said, more of a validation stamp. Can you just validate what I'm asking? Just give me a yes or a no, please, because I just want to pull the trigger, and I trust you, and I just want you to tell me it's okay. And this is dangerous, because if I validate something like that and say, yep, what you're asking me, I'm just going to give you a thumbs up, go for it. Yeah. What am I teaching you, really? I'm teaching you to be dependent on me, or, anybody else who also does this, would be teaching you to just be dependent on us, the content creators, those that you trust. And then it's like a terrible loop that just keeps going and going and going. You make a decision. I mean, obviously there's a huge negative to this, which I'll go into in a moment, but it's just it's a validation loop. Tell me yes, done. Okay, I'm going to go and do it. Now I need more. Okay, so I'm going to come straight back to you, and it's just constant. It's a constant thing. So it doesn't teach you anything. You become dependent on that person. Okay, you don't really learn anything. And then ultimately what happens is, when it goes wrong, so I validate and I say, yep, thumbs up, go for it. You end up in a situation where something goes wrong, you end up losing money. Then you can do the one thing, which is the worst thing you could possibly do. And that is to shift the blame from yourself onto somebody else and say, well, actually, you're to blame because you told me it was okay. So as the logo says, it's the trader, guys, nothing else. We're always responsible for everything that we do. So are we asking the right questions? I think this is a very potent question to answer. Whenever we engage in anything, it's really important to really look at the questions that we answer. Are they giving us the route to find the answers that really make sense? Sometimes we ask a question, or I might say something, and you might think, well, actually, if the question itself is going to lead to an answer. How do I know that I'm asking the right question to lead to the right answer if I don't know what I'm looking for, right? But generally, in most cases, when you're asking a question that doesn't really make sense. If I was to say something like this, if I said, okay, guys, and we'll jump over to Bitcoin, right? If I was to say to you guys, I went into a Discord and I asked somebody, can somebody tell me if Bitcoin is going to go to 42,000? Yeah, that question in itself makes no sense, right? It makes no sense because we can see that it doesn't lead to anything of value other than, there is no other than, actually. I was going to say something else, but it leads to nothing of value. It leads to no education. It leads to no learning. It leads to, nothing that we can glean from that, take away from that. It's just a question that is based solely on, somebody wanting to know if it's going to go to 42,000, so they can make a trading decision. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. And that person simply cannot make an informed step back and say, right, I'm going to use that information to take the next step in my evolution in investing or trading, education and learning, and really make a go of this. It doesn't tell us anything. But then if I was to go into a particular Discord, for example, and say, guys, does anybody know how I can really start to learn how, to engage with Bitcoin, or, or to be able to kind of look at Bitcoin? And I'm getting the impression that Bitcoin is really starting to, I'm getting the impression that Bitcoin generally moves most of the market. I've noticed that when Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up. When Bitcoin goes down, everything else goes down. Why is that? Even just that simple, why is that? Opens up the door to allow people to be able to start to, answer you in so many different ways, right? So are we asking the right questions is the question of the day. Make sure when you type something out, read it again. Are we asking a question because we just want that validation stamp, for somebody to just, give us that thumbs up and say, yep, it's okay, go for it, to validate a project that we're in, that we're stuck in, that we feel that we just simply can't get out of because we're losing too much money. We just want somebody to tell us it's fine, it will be okay, don't worry, everything's going to, everything's going to be fine. It will go up and so on. Or are we asking a question because we genuinely want to learn, right? If you want to go through this journey and you want to get out on the other side, knowing how to trade, how to invest, how to vet projects, how to, engage with, other people, how to stay safe, how to have the confidence, to put your money on the line, how to pass that on to other people, how to re-educate other people as well once you've learned the process, and so on and so on. Then you've got to ask the right questions, because asking the right questions leads to getting the right answers, and those answers lead to more understanding, and that understanding leads to, having a much more confident engagement with the cryptocurrency markets, or any investments for that matter. And that is a much more pleasant way, to be engaging with this space than just getting somebody to just say, it's fine, go for it, come back to me the next time you need something, So, I wanted to just, kind of address this. I am going to be going through something quite similar in a future episode, but I'm going to do it in a slightly different way, because there's a lot of psychological stuff that I want to kind of go through in terms of investment psychology. And I've been thinking really hard about how to kind of spread that out over into bite-sized chunks, because it can get, a little bit sort of intense and dare I say, a little bit boring in terms of investment psychology. So I'm trying to find a way to really make this kind of fun, if that's even possible. So that's this episode, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will speak to you guys very, very soon. As always, I hope everyone's having an absolutely fantastic day. And as always, guys, stay crypto positive.